Our company is a small industrial supply house, distributor of very specialized supplies. The leadership in the company was always a little confused because it was a 50-50 ownership. The management was split. My father was beginning to show the signs of his disability from Alzheimer's. His succession plan was basically a progressive Alzheimer's demise. So I definitely decided at that time that wasn't what I wanted to do. I needed to be more a decision maker. I think there was a major frustration all the way through my career with not being able to know where the company was going to be going. I always knew that you can't sell a company that's divided 50-50. At the beginning, I didn't even know what a merger and acquisition company was. There were 2 other seminars that I attended prior to hearing about the March Group, and that was probably through a period of 5 years. And the March Group approached. It was a good invitation, it was a good seminar, and had a more intimate conversation. Roger Kemp was the fellow's name, and he was pointed and clear and humane. I wasn't at a place where I was wanting to put, another 120% into this business for another 10 years. It just felt as if it was the time and the place and the people that they could help me move the company to a better place for its future. I had a lot more community kind of needs to serve beyond the 30 years of serving industry. I wanted to go do something beyond that. It wasn't the financial piece that was really pulling me along. March Group's emphasis on the humane and human process of selling your company, and that these seemed to be a group of people who were telling me, we'll walk this walk with you, and we'll talk a lot. And that process in the seminar began, and then it moved into the smaller discussion that I had just with the individual salesperson. And from there on, every contact I had with the March Group people seemed to be real and relational, and kind of the basis I wanted to go about the way I wanted to sell my company. It wasn't just a financial transaction, it wasn't just a group of lawyers and accountants and people plotting to move it along to an ending, but it was a good process place, and they were going to help me learn, because I didn't know much about what due diligence was. I didn't know a lot about all the terms, all the process, from letter of intent to answering all kinds of questions about the business, environmental studies, all the complexity that was there. It was nice that the March Group's overall presentation was such that I thought I would have a partner along with me to do that process, and somebody who would take the responsibility. And I knew I couldn't do it all myself. I didn't, how to market the company, how to put together a confidential business review, how to handle the confidentiality pieces between all the parties. We had I think 21 parties that looked at the confidential business review, and down to under 5 serious purchasers, and to manage that between the March Group's facilitator and his assistant. It was just stuff that I needed help with, and I knew I was able to do only parts of it, and only wanted to do parts of it, but yet I needed to learn it and go along with it, and my process with them was it kept me on track. I'm a person who kind of needs to be kept on track when there's a big project working, and they just kept moving it along, and that was extremely valuable. Confidentiality piece was critical, and they tried to corral that particular individual. And those were questions I hadn't even thought of in my mind. You know, to have them call and say, okay, let's develop this list of 250 solid prospective letters that we want to put out. Many times I saw the potential for the whole deal to just crumble around, whether it was the sales figures going out the bottom all of a sudden, or a problem with a competitor possibly wanting to get his nose in on it. You know, I remember recasting the financials, and it was like to scratch our heads together. You know, why does this look this way? What have we forgotten? What have we not cast it properly here? And to have it look, you know, look okay, and to look correct, but yet to be portraying the company for what it truly was. We'll portray you for who you are, Gary, for what your company is, for what the financials are, and if we don't, you know, it's just going to come back and haunt us later on. So let's just be who we are, and that's the kind of company I wanted to overall push me towards getting the thing sold. Currently, I have a 12-month employment contract with the new owner. I'm very pleased to be helping transition the company to the new footing, and extremely pleased to have found what I believe to be a terrific buyer and a great match, and an overall place that I can feel confident that the company will continue and to prosper, and that all of my people are really well taken care of. Just take my administrative tasks and move them from my shoulders over to the new owners. It's just a liberating experience. Amazing how much less tension there is. I don't think I ever knew how much you carry on your shoulders until it's off your shoulders, and it's still evolving, and I know they used to call me Smiley when I was a kid, and I'm trying to, and I'm really experiencing being a lot more smiley.